In this video, you're going to learn how to choose the perfect campaign objective for your Facebook ad campaigns, no matter your niche or industry. The truth is that most people have no idea which one to pick since there are 11 of them. So they usually just pick something that sounds nice like conversions. However, this is a huge mistake because it turns out that there's an incredible difference between these campaign objectives, and choosing the wrong one can basically make or break your entire campaign. Hi, I'm Shaba, founder of Game of Conversions, the place where online entrepreneurs learn how to convert casual leads into profitable paying customers. And today, I'm blowing the lid off behind Facebook's campaign objectives so you can lower ad costs, increase your numbers, and make more sales. Keep watching. All right, here we are in Facebook's ad manager. I've clicked create new campaign, and now we're greeted with this message. What's your marketing objective? Which is the same as what's your campaign objective. And as you can see, there are no less than 11 of them, which is pretty confusing. So first of all, what are the three columns that they use? Because there's awareness, there's consideration, and there's conversion. And most people think that if you want to get a buyer, then you just click conversions. If you want people to know a bit more about your brand, then you click brand awareness. And if you just want to run traffic to a website, you just click traffic. But it turns out that it's not so easy. And the way how Facebook's algorithm works in a nutshell is that it dynamically chooses bids in various industries for various interests and based on various campaign objectives. So it may be possible that if you're in a competitive niche, then you choose conversions, you're going to see very high cost per clicks, for example, because this niche is competitive. A lot of people are bidding for conversions for the same audiences, for the same interest as you are. But if you are in a niche that's not competitive at all, let's say you want to sell time management apps for ministers or for Christian pastors, then obviously not a lot of marketers are, probably not a lot of marketers are focusing on this problem. So you might have vastly different metrics here, but generally, conversions is overused, and a lot of people don't know that in order to use it properly, you have to meet a few requirements that a lot of people don't meet. So let's just have a quick overview of each of the 11 marketing objectives or campaign objectives to see which one is best to use and which one to probably avoid. So first up, we have brand awareness. And this is straight up not the best objective because sure, it's used to get the word out about your brand, to get people to know you. But the thing is that it's usually best used by bigger companies as a plan B or C who have budget to burn. Because Facebook ads is expensive, it's getting more and more expensive, and you're gonna have much better options for this. So picking brand awareness is kind of like shooting yourself in the foot a little bit. I'm not saying it can never work, but you probably have better options as well. But if you have a top of funnel offer, or you're just running traffic to a Facebook post or possibly a shorter blog post on your Facebook page, you can use this. Next up, we have reach, which says exactly what it stands for. It reaches an audience. However, most people don't know that it's actually used to reach smaller audiences. So for bigger audiences, it might not be the best objective to use. But if you have, for example, a smaller custom audience, smaller than 5,000 people, it's one of the best ways to do cost-efficient retargeting to them. So it will reach people who've already seen you before, who've already interacted with your website or your offerings before. In that case, you can use reach to create a retargeting campaign and it's going to work out fine. All right, next up we have traffic, which is actually one of my favorites. And you can use this pretty much for a lot of things, like running people to a landing page, running people to sign up pages or squeeze pages where they can sign up for a webinar, where they can submit their email address for a lead magnet. And the thing why it's better than conversions is that with traffic, you don't really have strings attached. With conversions, the secret is, and listen to this closely, you have to have at least 50 conversions a week in order to properly use the conversions objective, because otherwise the Facebook algorithm will not be able to properly optimize things. It's just you need to have a certain number of conversions, you need to have a certain number of events that can give enough information to Facebook's algorithm to properly use it. But traffic is perfect if you want to funnel traffic to your website, to a landing page that's going to convert well. And it basically means that it's going to show your ads to click happy people. So not necessarily the people who will buy the most, but people who usually click and subscribe for something. So if you have less than 50 conversions a week, you should use traffic for lead magnets, especially for high ticket signups, because with high ticket items, you're not going to have the amount of conversions to properly optimize the algorithm. So in that case, just use traffic. And a pro tip for you, it's best to start with landing page views optimization once you click the traffic objective. Okay, moving forward, next we have engagement. And this is, I'm going to be honest with you, it's not the best. I'm going to say it straight up, because it optimizes for people who like, comment, and share your articles on Facebook or your posts, which is nice, of course, but it's farther away from money. So if you have budget, then you should probably spend those on traffic or conversion or maybe reach objectives, not necessarily engagement, because it's nice to have likes and all, but ultimately the algorithm doesn't really optimize for people who want to buy. It just optimizes for people who like stuff. So yeah. Next up, we have app installs, and it's pretty straightforward. If you have an app, use this one. The added bonus here is that it's not that competitive, because not many people are using it. A lot of people are using the other objectives, but if your goal is to specifically get people to download or use your app, then you should use this objective. Simple as that. Next up, there's video views. And if you have a video, you should strongly consider this, because it optimizes for people who watch videos. And also, a lot of other advertisers don't always use this for their video ads. Often they use traffic or conversions, and this means that you might be able to achieve lower cost per clicks with this one. And also, since it optimizes for people who watch more video, it's way easier to build a retargeting audience. So you just target people who've watched at least 10 seconds of your video, and bam, you have a very cool retargeting audience who've already interacted with your brand before, and then it's the perfect place to run a reach campaign to give them that extra push to subscribe to your stuff or to buy your offering. Next up, it's lead generation. And in my opinion, this is pretty bad, actually. It sounds nice, sure, everybody wants to generate leads, but it hasn't really been proven by Facebook so far. It gets you leads, but you have very little control over them. And it's just way better to run traffic to a dedicated landing page where you have, let's say, a 30 to 60% chance of converting them, of signing them up for your newsletter, for example. And with lead generation, it's way worse. So just don't use this, basically. And in my opinion, the same is true for messages, which are basically sends targeted messages to people. It's not the best use of your budget. Sure, it's great to send sponsored messages, but be honest, when was the last time you clicked a sponsored message in your Facebook Messenger? Right? So it screams that you're a company, and people on Facebook don't want to really deal with companies. They want to deal with individuals, with people, with especially in Messenger. They want real life conversation, not promotions there. So, in my opinion, just X messages, don't use it. And that brings us to conversions. And this is straight up one of the best objectives if you want to optimize for purchases. So if you want to net people who are more likely to buy your stuff. But, and a huge but, it's expensive because everybody's using it. You need to have at least 50 conversions a week to give Facebook enough data to properly use this. And thus, you probably need a bigger budget to make this work. So you're going to need at least, let's say, a minimum of $50, more like $100 a day for your ad sets to properly use conversions. Now, if you're very close to that 50 number, but you cannot really hit it consistently, a great trick is to optimize for the add to cart objective. So when you choose conversions, you have options to choose various optimizations. You can choose purchases. Usually people pick this one. But if you click add to carts, then your pixel, your Facebook pixel, is going to fire each time people add your product to the cart. And it's going to basically inflate the numbers in a good way so you can reach 50 conversions a bit earlier. Also, since most people are optimizing for purchases, this means that you're going to have probably less competition and lower costs if you optimize for add to carts. Also, the conversions objective is not the best if you have a smaller audience. Again, for the same reason, it's hard for Facebook to optimize it, but it's great for free giveaways, for example. It's great for webinar signups if you have a high enough traffic and you have a high converting landing page. And it's good for high traffic e-commerce stores as well. But if you have an info product, if you're just collecting email addresses, I would probably not use this because it can get really expensive and competitive, and traffic is better in that case. Also, a lot of people wonder about the conversion window, about this conversion objective. So when you pick this, you're going to see something called conversion window, which can be 1 day or 7 days. And this basically means that if you optimize for 1 day, you're gonna get people who are more likely to convert in a shorter amount of time. So if you do something like a free giveaway or a webinar sign up, it's good to optimize for 1 day because that way the whole system gets tuned for people who make quick decisions. Or you can also optimize for 7 days, and this includes people who need a little bit more time to purchase, especially if they have to pay for it. If you sell something for $50, for example, then there's often a little bit of delay between when you reach them and when they buy. So maybe they abandon the cart and you send them an abandoned cart email sequence and then you convert them later. So that's it for conversions in a nutshell. And we have two more. We have catalog sales, which is especially useful for e-commerce because you can create some really sophisticated and really effective retargeting campaigns with this. This syncs up with your product catalog if you're using Shopify, for example, but you can manually add catalogs as well. And it's capable of showing dynamic product ads to people. So if somebody's interacted with your site before and your pixel has tagged them, then by using catalog sales, you can show them dynamic carousel ads, for example, based on the product that they've seen on your website or based on products that are great cross-sell opportunities for their purchases. So this is very powerful in cross-sell campaigns, for upsell campaigns, and also if you just want a more personalized and automated type of retargeting campaign for people based on their interests. And we all know that these things convert much better than if you send something generic, which probably doesn't even apply to most of your audience. So use catalog sales, and it's currently one of the best and hottest type of objectives. It's not that expensive in all niches yet. However, prices are going to go up, so be sure to use it before it gets too trendy. Also, just keep in mind that setting up catalog sales is a little bit more technical, so you might need some help with it, but it's not the end of the world. Ultimately, it's gonna make you a lot of money, so make sure to use this if you're in e-commerce, or if you have multiple products, you can also set this up manually. And finally, we have store visits, which is a little bit different from all the other ones in the sense that it's made especially for brick and mortar stores. So if you have a physical store with multiple locations, and this is very important, you need to have multiple locations, it's going to show up for people who are close to one of your stores, and these ads are going to try to get them to visit your store. This is great if you offer something free to, get people into your store so that they buy more, or if you just want to, target a very, very narrow area around your store, let's say a 20-30 mile area. So basically, that's it. Also, the other cool thing with this is that depending on the niche, you can get some pretty good metrics with this one. You can lower your ad costs a lot because actually based on the country, but not that many people use this type of ad. So a lot of brick and mortar stores are afraid of digital marketing and online advertising. And if you're in a city or in a niche that includes a lot of people who are wary of online marketing, you can get some big wins with this one. So yeah, that's it. In my opinion, based on all that I just said, which one do I recommend that you use? Well, here's my recommendations. If you're in e-commerce, then use traffic if you have less than 50 conversions a week. Use conversions if you have more than 50 conversions a week, and use catalog sales for retargeting, upselling, cross-selling, and if you want to leverage the incredible power of dynamic product ads. If you're a small business owner selling info products, then you should use traffic for top of funnel content, for various offers, lead magnets, and links to landing pages. You should use video views if you have some type of video ad, and you should use reach for retargeting because your audience is probably going to be less than 5,000 people for this one, and reach is just perfect to cost effectively retarget those people into signing up for your webinar, buying your course, and all that good stuff. For bigger info product businesses, basically it's all the same, except that instead of traffic, you should use conversions. So you have a lot of traffic to get those 50 conversions a week. So that means that you can use conversions for everything. You can use video views for videos, and you can use reach for retargeting campaigns. Or if you have several products, then you can also use catalog sales for retargeting and upselling and cross-selling. So again, you want to leverage those sweet dynamic product ads whenever you can. And finally, for brick and mortar stores, the main one to use is store visits. And also, it might be a good idea to do some videos or some video slideshows. And in that case, you can definitely optimize for video views as well. And retargeting is also important for brick and mortar businesses. So you should use reach for this one. And that's pretty much it. And that's it for this Facebook ads tutorial. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel right now. Just click on the subscribe button below. Also, if you want to get exclusive copywriting or conversion optimization tips that I only share with my subscribers, head over to gameofconversions.com and subscribe to the newsletter. It's free. And now I want to turn it over to you. Which campaign objective are you going to use for your next campaign? Is it traffic for top of the funnel offers, or conversions if you routinely have at least 50 conversions a week, Or maybe it's catalog sales if you're in e-commerce. Let me know by leaving a quick comment below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.